Elon Musk doing a solo rally for Trump in Philly.
It's the power of his charisma, Sam. It's going to drive people to the polls.
You know, like, this is the thing. When they did that thing in the movie Patton, right? Where Patton is in front of a massive American flag. What they're trying to communicate is how big of a personality, how charismatic Patton was. That, like, you could, like, only he could compete with a supersized icon that was already sort of big. And in this clip, you're going to see Elon Musk in front of a huge flag, and it's almost like we're watching, like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in real time.
But it's just obvious that Biden's not in charge. It's obvious that Kamala's not in charge. I mean, they just replaced the Biden puppet with the Kamala puppet, very obviously.
Pause. I just want to explain to people who may not be able to see the image, or even people who are seeing the image. This is a rally. This is not like. It almost comes off, I want to say, as like a TED Talk, but it really comes off more like a TEDx talk. Like the TEDx talks were like, oh, we're doing this in a black box theater.
You could license it.
In Hingham, Massachusetts. Right. And it's really sort of like more of a knockoff.
It's TEDx Fargo, and they're going to talk about homeopathy.
And just the echoing noise of Elon Musk there. Do we have any clips of like how many people are there? Because it doesn't feel, make sure you say, because it doesn't feel like, you know, there's 25,000 people. It comes so enwrapped with what he's saying that they can't even, you don't even hear them. It's like a pin drop.
They just replaced the Biden puppet with the Kamala puppet, very obviously. And so you can tell, like, if the teleprompter stops working, then the puppet breaks. And it's like, oh. the puppet just starts looping because the teleprompter broke. I don't have a teleprompter. I just talk like a normal human.
Okay, another tight shot of the audience. But just go back a little bit. So this is he's just mixing metaphors. Can we hear that again?
But the other thing I want people to think about is, okay, who is wasn't Biden supposedly like the Kamala puppet, or is it that it was Obama or Soros?
Yeah, and now there's like a bunch of puppeteers, which like usually when they talk about like somebody pulling the puppet strings, there's like one guy pulling the puppet. Now we have like a puppeteer for every single puppet. This is not really.
It doesn't make too much sense.
There is there's a lot of puppeteers. It's almost like a
cabal,
like a network, a cabal of people pulling the strings.
Just have the puppeteers play the role.
The puppet just starts looping because the teleprompter broke. I don't have a teleprompter. I just talk like a normal human.
That would be that would be a robot.
So I mean, I think it's not, from what I can tell, it's not one puppet master. It's many, but. You know, interesting to see the crossover between the Epstein client list and Kamala's puppet masters.
Oh, pause it. You know what's interesting about the Epstein client list?
There we go.
Picture of Elon Musk
with Ghislaine Maxwell and Trump with Epstein.
Yeah, that is fascinating.
How about the quotes of Trump saying in the newspaper back in the day that Epstein really likes him young?
I mean, this is a fascinating, like, if he's not consciously trying to sort of throw the scent off the trail, like, it's just weird. He doesn't realize that there's probably, you know, I don't know how many hundreds of people who had that type of close proximity to Epstein, but no one else in the audience does. Just him.
And anybody who would follow that would know that about Trump and him.
Right.
Well, they were spies. They were double agents. They were probably trying to get Epstein on, you know, prosecute him. Also, just a reminder, Donald Trump's labor secretary, Acosta, was the guy who fashioned the deal that let Epstein off in Florida. All right, let's play this one more clip from this really
Rousing.
crazy
Like
rally.
The
This
piss
is,
yellow MAGA hat is something else. I know he's going for gold, which is stupid in and of itself, but
He paid $45 million for that hat. That's
Yeah.
you got to get that on the
great deal.
MAGA merch.
And this is him taking a question from the audience on one of the more pressing issues of our time.
So much for being here. It means so much, and I think it's really in line with your character as I've come to know you from listening to you speak in interviews. In addition to voting for Donald Trump, what can the average citizen do to help train AI to be truth-seeking?
Well, I think
Like I don't like to make fun of. I don't like to make fun of Trump voters
The propaganda is to a
too much.
pathological
Yeah,
extent.
but I just don't understand. In addition to voting for Donald Trump, like what does that tell us about what she thinks voting for Donald Trump is a way to bring truth to things? And then the other one is how do we get AI to bring us more truth? Okay.
AI to be truth-seeking.
Well, I think definitely, publicly pushing to ensure that AI is truth-seeking and is not sort of politically correct or which means factually incorrect. That's a big deal. Like, just speak out on social media and certainly complain loudly when other companies attempt to essentially program their AI with a dystopian San Francisco, Berkeley philosophy. And if you want to know where that philosophy leads, just walk around the streets of San Francisco. But be careful, because do not get killed by a violent drug zombie, because they're all over this downtown SF.
I'm looking at one right now.
So you can see where does that philosophy lead? And unfortunately, I think a lot of the AIs are being programmed, at least implicitly with that misanthropic dystopian philosophy. Yeah.
Okay, so that was a planted question. I'm sorry. That was a planted question. No one, maybe not. My theory is that it's a planted question.
Why would he have such a... is that sort of like his fixed answer for AI? Is like it allows him to go into the San Franciscos being run by zombies and woke stuff?
I mean, he's in the AI business. He's got that Grok thing. Peter Thiel's in the AI business. Why? What regular voter is like, what more can we do other than vote for Trump and to also improve our artificial intelligence business? It's like, what are you talking about? Outside of if she were, I don't know, maybe
that is
someone
a bizarre question.
It's not a kitchen table issue or something that you might hear at a Trump rally,
or you might hear it when someone's going to see Elon Musk.
QAnon kitchen
Musk.
table, yeah. Like
Yeah.
the AI is coming first, because I think his initial reaction was like, "This is such a moronic question." That why? Because most of this was him talking about you need to register to vote in the next 3 days in Pennsylvania. I don't think I don't know. I think this is just where they've got their base is just insanity.
But if it was a QAnon question, it would have been more, I feel like, about like blood drinking and these like visceral images. The question was about was very just tailored to these tech freaks.
Well, but the whole thing is that he represents to these voters, and they are, Muscovites, if you will. He represents to them liberating Twitter and finally allowing Twitter to tell the truth. I would put the number of anti-vaxxers and COVID deniers in that room at least 50%. Maybe
Right.
75%.
Yeah.
And then the idea is like, how do we have AI?
Say we can jail Fauci.
Yes. Say we could jail Fauci and not suppress all of the truth about race-based IQs.
Right.
And what's also fascinating about this, aside from the sort of the irony of him saying, Kamala's, puppeteer or whatever, this guy paid how many hundreds of millions of dollars? 200
$45 million a month he's supposed to be playing.
$200 million so that he could actually play campaigner in a room full of 300 people who are already going to vote for Trump. I mean, this is not like, the news of Elon Musk at this point, like coming to Philadelphia, it's got to be, maybe there's an article about it, but like, are people, I don't know.
But that's what's so odd about this whole period of the election. Like, Trump has been outsourcing some of the ground game to Elon. They're running ads about how Kamala supports trans surgeries in prisons, like, which again, independent analyses, journalists have talked about how this strategy didn't work for the Republicans in 2022. So it's like these campaigns are tailored to the obsessions of these two men. And I don't know what the direction is.
I think if you always look at this as like, there's two agendas, right? I mean, part of Trump's running is to also prove that the election has been stolen from him. Like, he's trying to win, and he's also trying to sort of backfill with this notion of like, this is my plan B. I think people like Musk and frankly, Bobby Kennedy, I mean, I think all these people who are just like clearly mercenary about it too. I can't help but think that Musk's get out the vote campaign is there's probably some measure of like data mining and God knows what, like,
where can I skim?
Yeah. Where can there's a skim, or there's some type of business angle. I think, Kennedy probably has some other aspiration in terms of like, launching some other enterprise that would come out of this on some level. I don't know what it would be, some type of, I don't know, anti-vax, network or whatnot. I mean, I think that was Trump's, when he ran the first time, that was basically his agenda. He didn't think he was going to win. And this time you look at like all the peripheral stuff, his Bitcoin, his crypto play, he's basically just piloting all these different scams, part to raise money to keep him out of jail. But I think this is the thing that we don't fully appreciate, is that I think just broadly speaking, look, there's a lot of, campaign consultants who make a lot of money off of this. And a lot of times that's what, dictates their consulting advice. But the world is just so much more expansive on the right. And there's so many more ways of making money on the right in that way. And their pursuit of these other agendas often come at the expense of the primary agenda, or what we presuppose would be the primary agenda, and they don't care. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.